Good morning, Azeroth. It is the 23rd of May 2025. Grab your morning beverage and welcome to the stream. Today we'll be grabbing up our puzzling cartel chips from LFR, some Galazio rep as we do so. Without any further ado, let's get stuck in. Hope you're all doing well today. It's the end of the week. Well done on getting through. Take it steady, keep yourselves hydrated, enjoy your weekend. You've got this. Morning to Emilis in the chat. Hope you're doing well today as well. Pardon me. Right, let's get that quest grabbed up. Get ourselves signed up. Oh, I already picked it up. Fantastic. Bit of cyberpunk, you say? Well, enjoy. It's been a while. I never got around to the DLC with Idris Elba, but I remember enjoying the base game. Didn't play it around launch. Obviously, it had a lot of issues at the time. It was a bit of a shit show. But I was eventually won over after watching the anime Edge Runners. Really, really enjoyed that, and I thought, oh, go on then. Eventually got myself in there. Overall, I had a solid time with it. My ending bugged out a bit, but other than that, it was mostly doable. And apparently, it's in a pretty solid state at the moment. There were some rumours last week, some early looks at another bit of Cyberpunk 2 stuff. Hey, if you enjoyed yourself at the end of the day, that's the main thing, isn't it? Mileage always varies on such things. I see it's one of those go back to games. Mod the absolute shit out of it. I can imagine there's all sorts for it these days. CD Projekt has always been pretty good when it comes to that kind of thing. But yeah, there were some rumours about the second one not being set in Night City. Though Night City will still be there. They said something about it being a very derelict or very violent Chicago, and then you'll nip to Night City, but that's about all the information we have at the moment. I'm sure they're thinking very carefully about how to launch it.
The mighty adversary has taken the field. Get in there, soldier! May the shadows.
Yeah, hang on, favorite. I need to pick up these quests
Stay
first.
productive in the light, vigilant in the night, for the Empire. Is that the best warrior they can offer? Get in there and show them the strength of the flame!
Well, I'm glad to hear the mod community's really gone for it as time's gone on. Lovely to hear. There was a lot of big 40k news yesterday from the Warhammer Skulls event. I only got a tertiary look, but a whole slew of announcements. I think there were a couple of mobile games in there. Bolt Gun got some more DLC, which we'll have to check out at some point. Bolt Gun 2 got announced. Space Marine 1 got a remaster. Space Marine 2 got its Horde mode, which I believe they're calling Siege mode, coming out. Total Warhammer 3 got a bit of a tease or something. Folks who made Rogue Trader are making another CRPG about the Inquisition. I don't know, Emilis, I doubt it. I know there was the article I read said something along the lines of you can call in a dreadnought that you can't pilot, but you can call one in to help you. If only they did Terminator armor, if only. But there was a lot of stuff out and about So if you're interested, I recommend going and having a look-see. There's probably a few bits I missed. I think Vermintide got some DLC. Maybe Darktide did, unclear. I suppose that depends how many times you've played through the game, Emilis. Have you done every single build at this point? Your hacky ones, your melee ones, your shooty ones. I'd say diplomacy ones. But combat was kind of inevitable in that game, if memory serves. At the very least, I couldn't diplomacy my way out of much. Or it would always end in a fight one way or another. Not necessarily a bad thing. Awful lot to think about when it comes to the 40k stuff. It's exciting. I do have to check back in on a lot of it. Not when you're googling a build and people have had time to really figure out the meta-y stuff. It tends to be more fun just to figure it out. Just play it by ear, see what you end up floating towards. It wasn't a Skyrim situation where you always end up going towards Stealthy Archer, whether you want to or not. We also started up on Wednesday, Doom the Dark Ages. Was a lot of fun getting into that. We'll be doing some more this afternoon / evening, depending on when I get to it. But that get up in the face melee style almost. You I'd enjoy, but it's just so meaty, so hefty when you slam your way in there. I found myself really enjoying it. Despite the fact we're playing on Nightmare, where I can pretty much get 2 to 3 shot a lot of the time, because you can get your health back so quickly, and we're scavenging around for extra lives, it seems to be going okay. Now, first run through of a vehicle section with a bit of the mech stuff ended up being way more, like, people were very negative about it, but I ended up enjoying it. It was a lot of fun. Maybe by the 3rd or 4th time it overstays its welcome, but it just seemed like a lot of fun. Good change of pace. Just beating the shit out of some big demons and running down all the little ones. It was good. The past week I found myself at one point I saw trying to uninstall some stuff to save some space. So on my Epic Games thing I had a few games installed, so I went over there. It's usually just like Darkest Dungeon 2 is still on there because it started there on early access. I wanted to support them. Never really got around to playing it much, but Dauntless was still installed. I thought this game got shut down. I thought the servers were turned off by now. Those who don't know, Dauntless was a free-to-play Monster Hunter style game that has had a real tumultuous time. Like, just overall, a real tumultuous time. Lots of patches over the years that reworked it or didn't. Oh yep, Dead Island 2 is currently free on the Epic Games Store, as Emily says. I recommend picking it up. It's meant to be pretty solid.
We're all down here together. Belladar shine on you.
Oh, a belt. I'll take the belt.
Find joy in the flame's light.
And Dauntless, over time, I found to be a lot of fun. Like, it was just a more casual approach to Monster Hunter, and it's a genre that has sod all in the realm of competition. Unfortunately. And Monster Hunter still does very well for itself. It still pushes itself. But competition will always breed innovation and get more stuff. But the latest patch, essentially the company had like a big overhaul patch in the works. Some really good ideas in there. All the testing people were doing was going over alright. In that meantime, they were bought out by some kind of Bitcoin blockchain company, which they weren't even allowed to disclose for the longest time. And all of their new patch then got geared towards microtransactions. in a way that was really, really shitty. Not to mention, they locked off a load of the game until you did a massive long tutorial to re-unlock everything. They redid the gear system and sell build system again. And they removed 95% of all the weapons. Like, just gone. All the ones you'd grinded and earned, you still kept the cosmetic appearance if you'd unlocked them prior, but it was all just taken away. And then all the weapons, or not even all of them, a small number of weapons ended up being on the store. And that was their part of their release to Steam. And it went so poorly, it went to mostly negative, and they said the game's going to be shut down. Now, I couldn't remember the date as to when the game was being shut down, but it turns out it's on the 29th. So I thought, right, I'm going to go in and have a look at these changes myself. And I will be honest, they're really not great. I'm sure for a player who's never played before, some of the build stuff's like fine, you just kind of figure it out. But having to redo a load of stuff, realizing, oh, I've none of my weapons.
It's too far away.
They got rid of the old transmog vault, so you can't get old appearances. And all of that adds together and you think, right, well, it's no wonder it's gone to shit now. But I really enjoyed it as an alternative to Monster Hunter. I really enjoyed it as a more casual game. Just to go in, do a few hunts for, earn up some cosmetics. I think the art style of that game just nailed it. I think there's some fantastic behemoth and monster designs in there. And some really interesting fights, a couple of which also for that patch got reworks. Like, there's a big light beetle called Valmir whose moveset's changed to where he actually feels dangerous now. So at some point over the weekend, I'm not going to stream it, but I'm going to try and gather up a bit of footage to make a video on Dauntless one day down the line when I have time. But I'd like to have the footage there because I've been pretty invested over the years in it. That game's been going since like before 2015. It's been around a long time. And there was still a load of people running about in the main hub. Some people starting out. Some people you could tell have been playing for a while because they're wearing shit you can't get anymore. I mean, I got a load of stuff in that game. Like, I'd done a number of battle passes. I got the collector's edition. I farmed up some rare exotic stuff. Like, my main helmet I wear, I don't think you can get in the game anymore. And it's just a crying shame. More than anything else, it's a crying shame that that game got to this point. Because if it had gone to Steam even a year sooner, you wouldn't have had that big upset. Not in the same way. So it sucks. It really sucks how it got to that point. And again, my heart goes out to the devs who've been working on it despite being downsized. And despite being bought out. And clearly it forced to include a load of microtransactions. And to any skeptic there, again, they did all those weapon changes and took stuff out. But a lot of folks from what I've read in the testing for all those new things were quite happy with the ability to earn weapons still. Like, there was still a lot to be gained. But all of that got changed into store stuff. So now the game's just going to be shut down in about 6 days' time. And I imagine the rest of those devs are going to be let go at that point. It's a shame they couldn't even keep it up on some kind of maintenance mode. But they just can't afford to keep the servers on, which, you know, that's part of the... This isn't a new story in the industry. Live service games just going up in flames. And any investment, monetary or time or otherwise, just being gone. But Dauntless I have a real soft spot for, because again, nobody's doing that genre other than Capcom and Monster Hunter. You had EA try with Wild Hearts, and that seemed to do alright, but then they were immediately like, right, this didn't sell as well as we'd hoped, so we're not doing all the post-release support we wanted to do. And there was a... I don't remember the studio, I don't remember the name of a game, but it was like a medieval knight fighting some kind of dog-like drake in a very hyper-realistic setting, which looked really cool, but then I haven't heard anything from that game in yonks. No idea what was happening there. You had that Platinum game, Scalebound, where you fought big monsters with a dragon? Not sure if that was quite Monster Hunter-y, but it was in a similar vein. But point stands, you do not get much in that genre. So for one of the only competitors there to just get absolutely bodied over time. And again, some of the changes the devs made are nonsensical. But even amidst negative changes, for it all to be forced monetarily, just adds insult to injury. And as I say, once your game launches on Steam and it gets bombed out by that, people just take a look at where the Steam reviews are and go, right, I'm not installing this then. Crying shame. There's like a little emote I have on my character where you whip out an ocarina, and just while I'd be queuing for a mode, we'd just have this little song going. You still get people running up going, oh, where'd you get that from? How'd you do that? Exactly, Emily. Monster Hunter just has such a lead on that market. Why bother? Why bother even trying? But that's the thing, there's space. Especially between Monster Hunter games, there's space for something like that. And that's what Dawnguard did. Dawnguard. Different game. But that's what Dauntless did. In between Monster Hunter games and patches, it was something you could go back to. Constantly. There was always stuff to earn. There was over time, there was a load of rumours for different dice, for different transmogs. Like, they started adding loads of stuff you could just earn. And I still have a big old pile of quests on there for items that I'll never get. It's like, deal X amount of damage in one fight against this enemy with a hammer to unlock special ice hammer or something like that. And as well as Monster Hunter's doing, you'd love to see some proper competition for him.
Gallywix, it doesn't have to end here.
Oh, save me the mush. The Horde made you soft.
Yep, and somebody pulled it.
Not being soft. I'm offering you a way out.
You
They always do. Let's just kill it.
I do. Now watch and learn how a real goblin takes charge.
I liked the amount of game modes it had. That's one of the things that differentiated itself from Monster Hunter. You had your standard going out and hunting things on these islands eventually. You had the Gauntlet mode was one of the recent things they added that I didn't do much of. Where it was more of an endless fight against waves of monsters. But the escalation I really liked. You got like roguelike abilities almost, or buffs, as you would climb your way up different elemental mountains to fight a big super monster at the end. And then there were heroic versions of that to earn cosmetic crowns. There were some really good ideas there, and because you had so much armor and weapons to collect, there was just so much content, especially for someone coming in for free. There was the Trials mode, which was like similar to Monster Hunter's Arena Quest. It was a timed way to be like, kill these things, get up on the leaderboard. Now you can tell that's fucked, because you go on and see that everything on the leaderboard is the boss has been killed in like less than a second. You're like, oh well, this isn't working. But it doesn't really matter now, does it? But as good as Monster Hunter's been for such a long time, all it takes is one bad one for people to be like, you're resting on your laurels. I mean, to be fair, Monster Hunter's one of those series where the devs always seem super passionate about what they're making. It's putting in so many little loving details for the whole thing. You'd love to see it. I feel like they really tried with Dauntless, but one of the original developers for it, who's no longer with the team, when all that news started breaking about the state of it, was just like, it's no longer free to slay. That was how we built that game. And it's just not there anymore. I still, even despite how bad it is, I still wish it wasn't being shut down. There was still something to getting in and trying to relearn the game and relearn how builds went. I was pretty busted beforehand anyway. And I was still pretty busted, to be fair. But I was dying a lot faster. My old tanky builds didn't work, and my old DPS build didn't work either. And there was still some, in all of the changes they made, there were still some good ideas in there. Taking out 2 weapons at once and being able to swap them on the fly. Ironically, what Wilds then just did, even if you couldn't do it mid-combo, like you could in Dauntless. Ah, no. You just hate to see stuff shut down for that reason. Who knows? Maybe at some point a company picks it up. Maybe at some point someone can save that IP, but it's unlikely. That's where you get tech bros, crypto and Bitcoin stuff just ruining bloody everything. Still, you never know. I was thinking to myself the other day, no one's tried to make like a 2D or pixel style Monster Hunter game. Something there, something you could do there. But again, it's like you said, Emilis, nobody wants to try and take a fight there, which I just find weird. Right? Like when WoW was king, the MMO space, everybody was making an MMO. Everyone was after that money. When the MOBA genre started really taking off, everybody wanted to make a MOBA. Yeah, Terraria's got some boss fighting, but it's not exactly monstery boss fighting. Not in the sense of we kill this to pants to kill this to pants. Forever and ever. But nothing that feels like specific Monster Hunter. But there's opportunity there. It's just so weird that, again, other genres push so hard to get filled. And nobody wants to take on that fight. Again, it's a difficult one to do and to do right. There's a lot of, like, whether it's the grind or monster balance or making creatures unique. I suppose that doesn't stop people with Pokemon. There are so many monster collecting games. But for whatever reason, Monster Hunter itself doesn't quite get that level of iteration or attempts from folks. It's just a weird thing in the industry. Oh, this run's looking a little spicy. Well, we can get him down, it's fine. As long as we don't get another one of them big AoEs, we're good. I really liked the die system, for example, in Dauntless. Like, once you unlocked a die, how you could slap it around a piece of gear and change how it looked. And there were some like fluorescent and metallic ones, and no, especially when it first came out, Monster Hunter had no layered armor, it had no transmoggy system. Honestly, it was a step up in a way Monster Hunter didn't have. It felt really cool. Hey, there he goes. Hit the transmog and get nothing, so we enter the next. Up. We'll give us a beverage. Make sure you're all doing the same out there.
Cleaning up the mess he made. And eventually, we make the world recognize and respect us.
All right, I can get behind that.
Good plan.
What now?
We bought ourselves time. Now all we need is a...
Call in all cutthroats, mercs, firebugs, and psychopaths. Kill all these goblin cartels.
Already piling up that waterbound gear.
And undermines yours to plunder.
I got just what you need.
Oh, and grab a flying mount. Sure, I'll grab that rocket while I'm in here.
That's it?
Explosive bargains.
Crest vendor. Does no one have a place for me to buy
Best deals in town.
with this coin?
Come back.
There must be somewhere I can use this priceless coin. I have to Google it at some point. Oh,
Best deals.
I see a quest icon. Where and why? You.
Satisfaction recommended.
No? Mickey Junk Feast? Alright. Had naught to give me.
It's too far away. I'm out of range. I don't have a target.
Don't get hit by the car. 5 dead.
Great. New plan. Champions, take care of her while we check on our cartels.
Also been tempted recently by Helldivers 2, as they did an update where you go to more built-up city areas. As the alien Protoss-looking race, I think the Illuminate's the name, started invading Super Earth. And Helldivers 2 is one of those like games where it's like, oh, this looks really fun and really good. But in that initial couple of weeks, it's not really a game you can solo without really, really getting your teeth into it and understanding a lot about it. And there was some problems with matchmaking. It's like, oh, you're not bringing this weapon. You're not already this level. And the moment shit like that starts happening, I'm like, right, I don't really want to play if my average game is people being shitty. I'm sure over time that got better, one would hope. And a few friends have now started getting around to it, and this update seems to bring people in, so I look forward to giving that a try. Again, I always wish at that point, like, folks make a game a little more soloable, so I can enjoy it the way I pretend to prefer, taking my time. People always tend to want to rush about in games like that. But I can't deny how fun even the brief time I spent with it was. And it always made me wish, oh man, what if this but Mass Effect? What if this but you took Mass Effect 3's multiplayer and all the crazy biotic powers and just upped the stakes? Surely it wouldn't be as hellish as Helldivers, because, you know, you'd be a little beefier in terms of your average soldier, but always make me think about that. They did also add, like, a sword now, and a flag. You could actually do some melee stuff. It seems pretty great. Right, there seems to be a lot of good hype around this latest update, so I think they brought back a load of their old battle passes as well, which you could always earn on them as you wanted. But I'm never happy when something's FOMO. Because they said these battle passes will stick around, but then they didn't at one point, and now they've brought a load of them back. I hope it's all of them, and I hope they keep them around. Because again, I think we should just be past the days of battle passes being FOMO. Obviously that wouldn't make as much money, but it's so frustrating. Especially when you pay for one, the fact it can run out and disappear does my nutting. I think that's the happy vibes of it. It's like, oh, look at this crazy shit in here. Oh, I'm dead. My goodness, though, that explosion was fantastic. Go again. I think it achieves that. It makes dying fun in that way. Especially when it's, I imagine especially with friends and you're in that complete helter-skelter like, ah! let's fucking go, yeah! And you're just losing it. There's a joyous sensation to be had there.
Nice work. Huh, that's one nuisance out of the way.
Good job, morons. While you were...
Onward.
Streets are clear, and we got all the salvage we need. Meet me at the Galagio. It's time we blow the lid off that joint.
No, sorry, I can't remember any of the names I've read. Listen, I know since then they've added different enemies within each faction. On top of, you know, all the weapons and stuff they've added prior. They've kept adding to that game. And I think in a world where a community for a live service game is so ravenous, the whole living war map side of it and objectives changing, with someone on the other end purely dedicated to managing that, I think that's worked out really well for them. Because you always have a touch point, even if it's not new content per se, it's just, oh, we need to go and defend here today, we need to go and do this the other day. Alas, we perished. Hey, but if you have fun despite dying, that's a big achievement. Especially for a multiplayer game. If you can enjoy losing, your gameplay loops pretty good. I'll have to see this weekend if I manage to get into any of it. We'll see. As I say, I still want to pick up some Dauntless footage. Let alone any other games I actually wanted to get around to myself. There's a great deal to earn because of how the currency in that game worked. And you didn't have to spend real money to get some of the better stuff off the passes. It's just, again, I'd have to check in and see if they got rid of a lot of the FOMO elements of it. Because that always, as I say, that always pisses me off. But I don't know the state it's currently at. I have to go in and have a look-see. Alright, but when you're getting bodied by aliens and bugs and mechs, it's not my fault. I've merely opened the door. But I certainly think this new update looks like it's worth checking out. I also then have to go and maneuver some stuff around on my PC as well. My SSD drive, very full, needs some jiggling. I'm sure there'll be some stuff I can finagle. Maybe jump on Monster Hunter, make sure there are no event quests, then get that moved to the spare drive, as we're a ways out for the summer update. Still very excited. Speaking of Monster Hunter games, very excited for more Monster Hunter. Ow. Why? What is happening? This has not happened before. Put me down. Stop stealing my gold. Oh, a lovely feeling, Everliss. That's a few games worth these days. That's like, depending on the size. Your bigger games, maybe that's 3 or 4. Depending. As long as it's none of the gigantic ones like your Warframes or your Call of Duties. Mohosive spaces. Mohosive. It's great when you see an indie game and you're like, oh, like 20 megabytes. Oh, great. Fantastic. That's so many mods, Emilis. That's so many mods for games you had uninstalled. Oh no. The realization. The freedom all of a sudden. Isn't that every game at some point, Emilis? Isn't that every game at some point? See, I find it really difficult. Because when it comes to mods, I have no restraint. On top of just advice I get, I had a friend, she was like, right, if you're going to be modding Skyrim, you need this pack, and then you need this pack, and then you need to get one of these packs, and then if you want to get a bit cheeky with it, you get all of this pack. And it was like, this is like hours and hours worth of not just installing it, but having to go outside of a mod manager to futz about with files in a way that I'm just like, I can't, this is too much. This is way too much. My simple-minded brain. And when I first got into mods, it was probably Dragon Age Origins. And it was like armor and gear from other games and stuff like that, or custom storylines people had made. And I just installed so many that, of course, the game broke. Tried to dial it back. And then it just became too much. Like, the UI was no longer the same. Combat was completely different. It's like, what am I doing? I'm not even playing the same game at that point. I suppose so nowadays. It's a lot easier. Like, you've got, like, Nexus mods and then Manager to help you out and stuff like that. But like when I was first introduced for it, it was a lot of futzing with files in a way that I was like, I don't like it. I'm gonna break something. I'm gonna break all of it. And I did a few times. That sounds like you're putting too many mods into GTA 5. It bricks it every time, Ebelis.
It's too far away.
Restraint. Restraint needs to be the name of the game.
I need to get closer. I'm out of range.
Oh, folks, just turn around and bring these mobs down, please. How's my debuff going on this fella? Oh, there it is. Just took a moment. So that's one of the exceptions then, is it, Emilis? That GTA 5 mods a little differently to some of the others. I'm sure they're going to have that in mind for GTA 6. Because 5 just... so much of its lifespan from people modding all those RP servers and all the crazy shit people would eventually get up to. They must be looking at all that salivating. Even if it had to get pushed back a year. Again, a delay's always good. Better a late game than a broken game. Every time. Without fail. Because lest we forget, the Switch 2 is coming out soon. Like, relatively soon. So is that something to the effect of, like, Rockstar just doesn't let you use Nexus mods or something like that? There are limitations in just the overall setup there? Or is the process of getting them in? Could just be a skill issue. I mean, who can say? I couldn't. My skill with mods, again, is non-existent. It's been a really long time since I've put a mod into anything, to be fair. I can't remember the last time. Don't feel the need. But I know I'm very much, maybe not the minority, but a lot of folks really enjoying their mods these days, especially as more and more people get into PC gaming. So that alone with Baldur's Gate 3, it's like our modding community is still very much alive and well, even for the bigger games. Oh no, Melissa, you start talking about, oh, you have to add code for this one. Nope, I'm out. I'm out. I ain't touching that with a barge pole. I ain't breaking my game. You say if the process involves, right, I can brick the whole thing. Very upsetting. find it really interesting to hear. It's like, oh, with gun sounds and stuff, easy game. You want to change your car though? No. Weird things about game code, or how things are built internally to change up such processes. Always fascinating. Even if I don't understand it, I always find it fascinating. Down you go, bandit. Beautiful.
Hey, Gallywix! Looks like the house don't always win.
Do you have any idea how much that thing costs? I'm gonna take it out of your sorry green hide, Gaslow.
I guess we struck a nerve. Come on.
Still very much enjoying the music in here. Just always head bobbing along. I feel like the Bethesda stuff has always been the go-to place. People's the beginning of their mod journey, figuring that stuff out. It's good that mods are in such a place these days where they have dedicated managers for individual games just to sort that shit out for everyone. I say Nexus does pretty well for itself, and they're pretty good at getting rid of like nastier mods where people just do something, you know, racist or sexist or that kind of thing, and just getting them off their website. They seem to have looked after things quite well, all in all. They've been around a long time now. So even those early days of finally getting into it. No, Barney, I'm trying to save you. God damn it. I also started watching, or getting into the end of, a show on Netflix called Blood of Zeus, which I'd already seen the first couple of seasons. That third one's just come out. And it's alright, it's an entertaining bit of animation. It's solid. You follow, like, a variety of famous gods from the mythology. It's a solid story and some decent animation. There's nothing to blow me away, but I feel like it's done pretty well. I recommend a watch of that.
Nobody passes without permission from the board.
Exactly, Emilis. It's like, this isn't for you. Why do you give a shit?
Ain't that right, Mug? You got it, see?
People go out of their way to get angry. They're catering to someone who's not me. Ugh! Ugh, I must be angry. Like, where do you find the energy to be that angry? It's the internet, so there's your answer, but even so, it's mind-blowing. I certainly don't have that energy to be that angry these days. Not about shit that doesn't affect me in any way. I can get angry on behalf of people having to deal with that shit. Not fuckers whining. Oh, everybody stack. Now, sometime around the point it got sold off to Musk, I ended up just deleting my app. It was like, nah, we've already been turning into a cesspool, but with this fellow at the helm, nah, fuck that. Can't deal with it. And it's a shame because I followed a load of artists and stuff. I love like reposting that kind of thing. And just seeing what people make. I really enjoyed it. Blue Sky's alright. So I heard Threads pretty much quickly devolved into Twitter 2.0. But Blue Sky seems fine. I post some stuff there when it comes to like my daily... Not the right word. Just like going live. There's a new show. Going live again. Oh no, I missed the elemental. I'm so sorry. Well, it'll be fine. Surely it won't just kill them all. It's unsurprising, Emily. Unsurprising. Yep, we're getting a little bit messy. Getting a little bit messy. Oh, that infinite stars thing I got on my helmet also stacks. Huh. Gonna really help for the underpin come Tuesday. Because as a reminder, ow, Monday is a bank holiday over here, so we'll be taking the day off. Makes me extra annoyed that I was so ill yesterday. I woke up and my face was falling off. It's what it felt like. I got up, I had some meds, I was like, nope, this isn't going anywhere. Alright, maybe we make the evening stream. Had a bit of a lie down. Got ready for the evening stream, was like, nope, still can't feel my face. Everything hurt. Everything is just dripping off me in a way that's extremely unpleasant. For such as it is. I'm still a little groggy today, but again, had some more meds. Got a better sleep. Should there be okay? But I certainly feel it. I've got my other regular medical bollocks hitting me today, so I'm a little bit like, ugh. But we've only a couple more wings left to do for LFR, so get through. And over the weekend sometime, get me delves and whatnot done at some point. The weather fluctuating the way it does these days doesn't help at all. Everyone's body's just getting thrown out of whack. It's been sunny here in the UK for weeks and weeks now, and it's just too much. I hate it. It's too much sun. Please give me a... We're meant to have a bit of rain this weekend for a few days, and then it's meant to go straight back to being oppressively sunny again, and I'm just like, wow. Wow. Don't get me wrong, plenty of folks overjoyed by that. Absolutely loving it, but for me it's like, it's too much. As you say, it really throws off your body as well at some point. Especially when one day the temperature drops and then it spikes the next day and then it's just all over the shop. Everything hurt. Where was I going? Final one of these. Yum. Come here, buggos. That's right, Emily. Send your rain this way. Send it to the UK, please. We'll pay for rain. Pretty please. I just wish it was stable. Like a consistent bit of weather. A moderate temperature. No, no punchy for you. See, when this big fella's just the model that Zekfir was, it really makes Zekfir less. I hope for the Delve bosses going forward, they keep them unique. I know not all dungeon bosses are unique, but enough are. Yeah, fair, I can't argue with that, Emily. I can't argue with that. You want the rain? No, that's fair. That's fair. At the moment, every other day, part of the daily chores is get outside, water up. And it's even getting to the point now, the grass is just starting to get brown on its own. Just because of a lack of rain. You don't really want to spend time watering the goddamn grass. That's new. That's new this year. Like, even in periods of, like, really warm weather, you always get to that point where it's been warm for long enough that the clouds are going to break and there's going to be a thunderstorm. Hello? Who are you? Just some dissenter out of nowhere. Sure? That was odd. I liked it. That was different. Let's pick up a note. Some fella comes out of nowhere. No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's so often intermittent rain and cloud here that it's been weird. It's been weird being so sunny. Got a load of people like, hey, and then a load of the farmers going, shit's dying. Shit's not growing. We're in trouble, actually. And then folks being like, right, we might have to introduce a hose pipe ban like we had to do in COVID because
Check in real soon.
it's not been raining. And reservoirs are getting dried out. And then we have a lot of problems with the big private water companies here being bastards anyway. They've not been looking after the waterways in the UK for a long time. And they fire and cut costs so they can pay their executive board more and more. And it's like, ugh. A lot of talks of trying to get that into public ownership again, but it never seems to go anywhere. Too much money. But again, it's a worrying new thing if it's becoming the new norm. It's moments like this you think, how can there still be people who think climate change doesn't exist? It's wild. Wild. Do they not go outside? Do they not see? Don't get me wrong, I'm happy that a lot of folks get to enjoy warm weather, but at some point there must be balance. There must be balance in these things. Good, let's try not to pull the entire room. Today are we? If only, Emilis. If only. Be very dangerous for a period of time. Explosions all over the shop. But certainly something a little more direct in that vein would probably go a long way. And very little else seems to be bloody working. Not that anarchy is necessarily always the answer. I remember a conversation I had when I was younger with my dad. It was like, if everything's so annoying to everyone, and we don't trust politicians and all of this, what's wrong? Why don't we view anarchists that well? And my dad went, you know, there was a period of time where I was all about that. And wanted to, like, more officially, say officially, you can't really officially do it, so to speak, but be an anarchist. And he said, what changed my mind was being at a bar in London. I was chatting with some people there. And one of the women I was chatting with, her boyfriend turned around and said, are you chatting with my girlfriend? And just pulled out a gun. Which again, especially in the UK, is a little more, okay. My dad was like, so I kind of looked at it a little differently since. And I'm like, that's fair enough. Someone feels like, I'm an anarchist, so I do what I want. Here's a gun. Don't talk to me. Like, worrying. Very worrying. It's good to hear that for you over there, Emilis. I'll take your word for it. Half the time I barely know what's going over here. I try and keep on top of news best I can, but these days especially, it gets harder and harder. To every day when everything is on fire and upsetting and really grim. But I try and keep a pace of things best I can. Aye, it's just, I don't think that's something my dad really expected in the middle of a bar in London. Suddenly get reminded of the Wild West. So I get his disdain for it, absolutely. I'm glad you used the word had, Emilis. Glad things are more safe for you. I'm sure some stories from time to time are quite interesting, if nothing else.
Back to the business of ousting the outsiders.
No, playing ball out of the way. Oh, what's happening? Someone's lost aggro. Healer's tanking. Why was the healer tanking? No idea. Something happened. I'm glad to hear it's on the better end of things then, Emilis. Yep. Come on, down you go, Torp. Lovely.
Oh, I could hear that crowd from all the way out here. Just don't let the fame go to your heads.
Greeds and transmoggen greeds. Just Mr. Rick Reverb left. Then one more spot, and we're good for the day. Right, there'll be someone here who knows that little shortcut round. We'll end up pulling off the dungeon anyway. Nope, you don't know where you're going. It's alright, neither do I. I thought after this many weeks I would know where we're going, but I don't. I never do. Geography will always be a weak point. I've just accepted it. I'll happily follow the leader. Or get lost repeatedly. We certainly had that in our first day of Doom. Like, that early level was, I think, a hint of how open some of these maps are going to be. Tell you, there was so much. Where is the secret? How do I bloody get there? And it either showing up later or being so incredibly obvious that I felt like an absolute buffoon. Like one in particular just had a door that I couldn't seemingly open. So I was trying to find a way to drop down and was trying to find a way around or a sneaky side bit. Turns out I just had to shield ram the door. And just hadn't held up my shield to see. Drove me mad. But at least now I'm aware that you can shield charge said doors. And one would hope that I only get more capable of exploring in future, but I wouldn't hold my breath.
I'm out of range. I don't have a target.
Aye, lots of. I'm overjoyed that in Dark Ages it labels bits on the map as point of no return. That's so nice. For a collector like me, that's just so nice. So we can be like, right, I can go back, check my nooks and crannies, make sure that all we want is accounted for and found. I wish more games did that. I wish more games made it incredibly clear. Especially when maps are more straightforward. You know, we're not on big open world things. Even if the maps are bigger, they're still not, you know, it's not like we're playing Skyrim. But that little bit of comfort in knowing you should probably go back and look for stuff. It's just a godsend. Especially when a lot of those collectibles are tied to earning up, like the gold was all about earning upgrades for all of your different weapons and your shield and your melee abilities. Gonna be a lot to level up and learn. Not to mention, playing on Nightmare as well is going to mean sometimes in those big open bits we're going to be set back. It depends how well it checkpoints, I suppose. We're going to have to find out. Hello, Mr. Reverb. Just beat his schnoz in. Going down pretty quick. Let's not Rick. It's too early in the morning. We're not going to get him down before he does one of his dancey things, so we'll still have to meander about. People are keeping top of the megaphones, so I don't have to run about. No cranking it, please. Once again, too early. Nope, I stood in the thing. Okay, here comes the drop. Oh, and who doesn't know? Who doesn't know? A couple of them didn't. Down they went. No, dear, oh dear. You gotta watch where all the other players are going. It's a fun little sound effect. I like it. Let's get everybody back up so we can do DPS. Go, go, go. Lovely.
Finally, some quiet.
And there's the last one.
Thought that blowhard would never shut up. You have my thanks, champ.
Joys of queuing for them back to back. A swig of his beverage? No, already cold. Sadness. Oh, 1 out of 1 tank. What do you mean, game? I'm sure it's 2. What do you mean? There we go. Give me one with a boss already done. Ah, fine. Fine. Need to sell some of my garbage.
Satisfaction recommended.
Always got stuff to offer.
There you go. And go. Alright, that flying mount I should probably learn.
Check in again soon.
Which is just a rocket. Ooh. Also from the the Nightfall stuff, a normal hammer. It's a nice looking regular hammer. That's going to go well on a shaman. Alright, blacksmith transmog. Very nice. Again, I need them to list where all these transmogs are at some point. I wish a vendor said that. Like, here's all the transmogs you can get from doing this event over and over again. This is what's available to you. So you know you can keep farming it. Otherwise, it's a mystery, or you have to scroll through the whole transmog screen. Which is just a little bit unnecessary. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy there's a load more transmogs. Oh, from the raid, yeah. Not as a drop. I think it was... I just went and talked to someone on the upper floor in the Galagio while in LFR. And it got me the pink rocket. Or a recolor of the pink rocket. Where are you? It's in here somewhere. Nope, it was not called rocket. I don't know. It was like this, but red. But I think that's just part of the Galagio reward track. Where are we? We are on 13 of 20. Yeah, there we go. You could get the Thunderdrum missile from inside the hotel. So that's rep 8 for it. And again, you get your rep through LFR as well. And it seems to be limited by how much rep you can get each week. I don't know if that changes if you did, say, a normal run, a heroic one, a mythic run. But I imagine it's probably still limited week to week anyway. I don't know if it's got any catch-up on it. I'd recommend doing some research. And I do wish they had a bit of transmog in those reward tracks, but the final reward of being able to teleport back sometime will be very useful in future for transmog farming. And if that's something they're going to add to every raid, one of these little reward tracks, would be very nice. Because, let me be honest, there's plenty of raids that I'd never gone to, and I don't know where they are. I can guess, because they're in certain expansions. I can open up the map and eventually find out, but a button to be like, take me to this raid, very useful. Very, very useful indeed. But again, that's the reward at the very, very end. Let me eat, please. Let me eat, please. They've put such a fancy feast down. Somebody's still fighting. I just wanted delicious noms. Why are you like this? Also makes me upset that the Dark Fuse in the raid don't give you any of the black market material you need for that goddamn trench coat. Which one day I will farm for. Not this day. Don't know why I bought all those things for farming it. Someone said it just takes you like 7 to 12 hours of spamming the one spot. What do you mean, good luck? Is it that hard to find, Emilis? Oh no, Nighthall. Does that mean it's in Suramar? I've gotten lost in Suramar a fair few times. A fair few times. I did the dungeon in there. Just because I'd done my, my Nightborn had just got a heritage armor. And I thought, hey, we haven't been in Suramar in a while. Let's go see the dungeon. I don't remember the dungeon. Maybe some transmog. And the dungeon bugged out because you had to, like... You had to accuse people. Or something. To, like, get you through a door. And I did it wrong. And then it bugged out. And I already went round the dungeon wrong twice anyway. And then it got stuck. And it was like, well, that was a waste of an hour. And that was on stream as well. That is saved somewhere as an absolute shit show. Nightmare it was. Absolute nightmare. Oh, Jesus. Bear that in mind, Emilis. I'll bear it in mind. Maybe we never go to Suramar. Maybe it's fine. Oh, I'm going to become rubbish. Okay, okay, okay. I think I grabbed a decent number of the ads.
You want something done right? It's too far away. Guard yourself! Time to take out the trash! I need to get closer.
Well, I did find the dungeon entrance. It did take a while. I remember it taking a while. So maybe I can find it. Maybe at some point I can find it. A small semblance of faith. And we'll see. I keep waiting to hear more about that potential transmog event that was going to buff drops somehow. To know yet. We've still got a lot to do with horrific visions that have just come out as well. I'm hoping that on the week to week, as we get through more of them at a time, that's more than enough to keep gunning for stuff. I need to double check if there is an end date for that, or if it's going to remain in the game forever. It'd be really nice if it remained in the game forever, because there's no other way to do those horrific visions. I'll have to do a bit of a Google at some point. Because otherwise, I may have to do more than one day of horrific visions a week, just to ensure I get all I want to from them. Again, I'm more of a transmog guy than I am a mounts guy, but there's still some goodies to be earned there. Bring this guy down.
Oh, let's see what I've got.
They're squeezed in the corner. Visions. Alright, at least there's some stuff to get for him. It's not going to be too crazy until we get all of the different upgrades so we can actually last in there for a decent amount of time, clear the whole thing in one going. And then, of course, finding the masks and all of that. Don't know how to get them, so...
That's one less goblin on Gallywix's side. My venture buddies will take over cleanup.
I assume you just get them the more you do it. Maybe after finding some rares. I do need to figure out how to kill that damn toy maker. Ooh, 88 on the halfstone. Oh, I'm winning. Give me it. Give me it. Give me the explosive halfstone. I'm so curious. Come on. Come on. Still waiting on half the raid. Do I win a roll? Could it be? Damn it, go over there and hit the button, some of you. Why are we still rating on half the raid? Either pass or accept. No! Somebody got one more than me. Feck. Well, at least one day, I'll go in here solo. Legacy loot will be turned on, and it will be mine. It's just a matter of time. Now one of the faster bosses, the only problem being the getting to this boss. So even if people try and run around the back, they still pull a load of mobs, and then there's a nightmare inside. Let's see how we go. I know, it's just, I've never actually seen that halfstone used, so it's like, how does it look? And I love the fact that halfstones are now being put into just more regular cosmetics. The fact some can just be a raid drop, that's pretty cool. Actually, we've got a couple from quests. The pre-order ones are like, fair enough. But more in the actual game itself, you know, through play. Delightful. More, please. More things for cosmetics.
I need a target.
Nope, they went and pulled them anyway. You fool. You fool. It always happens. Run. Just run. Oh no. Yep. They will all either spawn here.
Tallywix is gonna flip when he sees this. Unless he doesn't. Maybe we ought to do some market testing first.
Yep. And also suddenly just on his butts. It's so dumb. Wrong button. So much shit on the floor. Can't see a goddamn thing. Oh my god. But it's fine. Too much green. Too much green. It's in my brain, it's like, well, imagine doing this on a high difficulty where this is actually going to be killing you. My god. Terrifying. Although, again, on high difficulties you wouldn't be pulling the whole room for laughs. Okay, is that all of them? Are we all good now? Can we get on with the boss, please? Somebody's still stuck outside? What's happening? Oh. Big slime monster just shooting people from outside. Fine. Probably wise to get rid of it. There we go. Fancy little transmog, Mr. Dwarf. Some kind of buccaneer. A red mage. Someone using the new white Arathi sets. A lot of paladins wearing what I'm wearing.
I got research to develop.
Oh, we're going.
Rewired? It'll up the kill rate 20%. Shaking out your bones.
Not my bones!
House into my success. Let's try a little experiment. I call this the green noise. How hot does blood get before it hits us?
Don't want to know the answer to that.
Oh, check out the big bang. Shaking out your bones. House into my success. Let's try a little experiment. If this is rewired, it'll up the kill rate 20%. I call this
Just
the
remembering
green
where to
noise.
stand. The off chance he does that ledgy move or we can be thrown off the edge. Would suck. I don't like it.
Right there.
Yep, there it is. I knew it. Oh, a couple of people went.
How hot does blood get before it hits us? Shaking out your bones.
We'll try and res them in a moment. Hang on.
Here's
There we go.
to what's bad.
Unless they've taken the opportunity to AFK. One got up. Hey, there they go.
Oh, check
Beautiful.
out the big bang.
Feels good to res people.
I call this the green noise. If this is rewired, it'll up the kill rate 20%.
Bring him down. Bring him down.
Into my success.
And there we go.
Not enough.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Nice. Great work,
Beautiful.
champ. Now, go clean yourselves up before moving on, okay?
Right. Go hand in our last bit of Flames Radiance. Head back to Donegal. Have a gander at the trinkets. See what we should spend our puzzling cartel chip on. No, get off it. Thank goodness the hand-in's over here.
We will triumph.
But you've had too much loot this week. Here, have some garbage. I say over the weekend I'll knock out my delves and some weeklies. So I'm ready to fight the underpinned come Tuesday. Maybe we get him this week with that new helm enchant for horrific visions. Maybe that's enough now. It pushes over the edge. One can dream. Give me them chip.
Keep your ear to the ground.
Wait, only one chip? Wait a minute.
Yo.
It were free chips that first week. It was free chips the first week.
What's up?
Is it now going to be one chip a week? You robbing bastards. You don't make that clear when you do it once the first week and then change it the second week to just one at a time? Well, I guess we're not getting another one of these for a couple of weeks now. God damn it.
I have an extended supply of goods for Outlanders.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That's the name of the game. I'm a little salty, I'm not going to lie. My expectations were set one way and have now been thrown the other. You piece of garbage.
Return.
Okay, I can also sell that tabard. I'll buy the upgrade, folks. Do it there.
There is much to discover.
Absolutely robbed. I'm livid. Okay, don't have enough of those. Covered, runed, carved. Okay, so I can spend some weathered to get carved. Then I can spend some carved to get runed. I can spend those runed to get gilded. So it will all bounce together. Okay, do that one first.
Until next time.
I'm glad we can now move it and get gilded.
The skies call to me.
Two of those.
Farewell.
Right. How many does it give me?
I can't use that item yet.
15 a time. That's not going to be enough, is it?
Slept long
Right,
enough.
we can get one set of gilded. Beautiful. Which is one upgrade.
May we all find what we seek.
Oh, lovely.
What brings you here?
Oh, we can get the shoulder pads one more level. Will it change the visual at 5? It does! Ha-ha! Nice. We have the mythic variant of the shoulder pads now. Walk out someone in the full set. God damn it. You stole my moment. It's fine. I'm happy for that. Oh, the joys of transmog. Look at this fancy dancy elf. And they're gone. Truly look like one of them bank halts that you used to see around Stormwind all the time. Level 1. Somehow. Millions of gold. Millions. You can always tell. Usually because they just have the name Bankholt somewhere. Alright though. With that then folks, for the day, I'll say thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed yourselves, don't forget to hit that like button. Helps push the video through the algorithm so more folks can come hang out, play some games with us. There is, Emilis. There is always someone better than you in life, and you know what? We've got to accept that. It's fine. It's nothing to get angry about. That's just life. And the comparison game will doom us forever. So we should not let it. You can subscribe for more content here on the channel. On the weekdays, we're at 9 AM GMT with World of Warcraft, and between 4 and 6 in the evening, we start up with other games. Currently, of course, Doom the Dark Ages. You can find playlists, pardon me, to everything else we've already played right here on the channel to binge to your heart's content. So until next time, folks, much love, take care, enjoy your weekend, and bye-bye.
Cover for me. I gotta whiz behind a tree. Till we meet again.